In the heart of Persia, the palace of Shushan roared with music and drunken laughter. At the height of the king's feast, Xerxes summoned his queen to parade her beauty. But Queen Vashti refused. Before a stunned court, the queen defied the king's order, and within moments, she was gone. Banished. Across the city, a young girl named Hadassah lived in obscurity. Orphaned and raised by her cousin Mordecai, she was quiet, observant, and unknown. But fate was on the move. A royal decree announced a kingdom-wide search for a new queen. Hadassah was taken to the palace. There, her name became Esther. And her secret? She was a Jew. Esther won the king's favor, but no one in the palace knew who she truly was. Mordecai warned her, "Tell no one of your people." Meanwhile, a new power rose. Haman, the king's advisor. Cold and cunning, he demanded worship. When Mordecai, Esther's cousin, refused to bow, Haman's pride turned to fury. He devised a dark plan, not just to punish Mordecai, but to annihilate all Jews. The king signed the decree with a flick of his ring. A date was set for the slaughter, and Esther was caught between two worlds as she was a Jew. As the decree spread terror across the empire, Mordecai sent word to Esther, "Do not think you'll be spared. Perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this." Esther fasted, she prayed, she wept. Then, with trembling resolve, she dressed in royal robes and approached the king's throne, knowing she could be killed for coming uninvited. But the king extended his scepter. Esther lived, and she asked for one thing: a banquet with the king and Haman. The banquet was lavish, but beneath the surface, tension simmered. Haman was confident, laughing. The king was amused. Esther was calm, too calm. Then her voice rose, "If I have found favor, spare my life, for I and my people have been sold to be destroyed." The room froze. "Who would do such a thing?" the king roared. Esther turned to Haman, a foe, an enemy, this vile Haman. The trap was sprung, Haman begged, but it was too late. The king's fury was swift. Haman was hanged on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. Mordecai was elevated. The Jews rejoiced, and Esther, once hidden, stood radiant in the light of justice. This beautiful story of Esther teaches us kindness and humility. Esther's kindness earns her favor, teaching that genuine kindness opens doors and creates lasting bonds. Courage and bravery. Esther courageously risks her life to protect her people, demonstrating that bravery is doing the right thing even when it's scary. Obedience and trust in God. Esther and Mordecai obey and trust God, showing that obedience and faithfulness lead to God's blessings and protection. Standing against wrongdoing. Esther bravely stands up against Haman's evil plan, teaching children it's important to speak up when something is wrong or unfair. God's providence and protection. The story highlights God's care for his people, reminding us that God guides, protects, and uses ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary purposes. In short, Esther teaches the importance of being kind, brave, obedient to God, and courageous enough to do the right thing every day.